when you were coming up as a mobster, and you're doing what you're doing with the family you're part of, you're buying politicians. A lot of times they'll say, "Oh, it's easier to buy Democrats as politicians, or it's easier to buy Republicans as." But your experience, you said you had an easier time buying Democrats as politicians. Why was that easier than buying Republicans?
They were easier to corrupt. I mean, it's plain and simple. Now, we didn't say we're going after Democrats. They just happened to be the ones that we were able to get to. We would have got to anybody. It didn't matter. And by the way, the book is bipartisan. It's not Democrats, not Republicans, right down the middle. I name them both. But for some reason, it was just easier to work with Democrats.
Why do you think, though? Because Phil Leonetti said, when Phil and I spoke, and we had him in the studio and we were interviewing him, he said the opposite. He says, look, it's not just the Democrats. It was also easier buying Republicans. For him it was, he had as much frustration with Republicans as he did with Democrats. But from your end, why was it that they would come up more why would more Democrats come up wanting to do deals with you guys?
Well, there's a couple of them that I know that were Italian to begin with. Remember, I grew up in New York. That was our area there. We had 750 made guys that actually took the oath, comprised all 5 families. A lot of us had neighbors, friends, relatives that were law enforcement, politicians, whatever. So a lot of them were of Italian descent, and a couple that I'm not going to mention the names now, but they were Italians. So maybe it was just the jurisdiction, and of course the Democrats were majorly in control in New York. So maybe there were more of them, they were easier, they were on the street, we had access to them better, but it wasn't like we selected a Democrat. It just happened to be that they were Democrats.
Yeah, you sit there and you think about, like when we were doing Mafia States of America, and you guys talked about how gambling used to be illegal. Now it's a full-blown business model, billions of dollars being made. We talked about how hard money lending was illegal. Now you got these cash places around the corner everywhere. Hey, come bring your check, 32%, 33%, 50%.
They charge more interest than we did.
Yeah, literally across the street.
Yeah.
We walk by it every single day. The Amscot. It's the racketeering there is
these
insane.
merchant lending accounts, whatever they are. I mean, they're Shylocks. That's all they are. Absolute Shylocks. I mean, they charge more interest than we do, than we did. Excuse me, than we did. I don't do that anymore. I want to be clear on that.
To clear the air on that. We did. Not records.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.